What's going on, everybody? I'm going to cut this heater off here in a second. Just give it a second. I'll cut it off. Just trying to let it warm up a little bit in here. Trying to get a little bit of an arm workout, shoulder workout before I leave. Good morning to you. As you guys file in, if you'd hit that thumbs up, that'd be great. We're going to talk about this testing that was done. Yeah, I agree. Quick wrench. Let me cut this heater off. Is that okay? Is that too much noise? The heater in the back? I hope not. I only got a little bit of time today. I started a little late because I was trying to get trash and everything out before leaving for work. Anyway. Yeah, it was pretty interesting, the results. And you know what? Amsoil Ultra Platinum kind of hung in there with them, you know. It's a very basic, cheap oil. It's a very high quality oil. And it was right there with them, either middle of the pack. A couple of them was towards the end. But it was middle of the pack, close to the front. I think, and if not, in one or two situations was in the front. So move this up so I can focus better on it. Did somebody say here? Well, can't guarantee I'll be able to answer it, but I'll try. I don't regret going with Ultra Platinum. That's what I run in my stuff for the most part, unless I'm testing stuff out. I get a lot of people that pop up on the channel and they have a lot of negative things to say. They're like, man, you're clickbaiting us because you're not using the same oil over and over again. Well, obviously you don't know what I do here. And maybe you should spend some time watching some of the videos before you say ignorant things that you don't know what you're talking about. Well, you just said you always use Ultra Platinum. That's my main go-to oil. That and Redline. I'm never going to deviate from Redline being my top oil that I've run. I've run Amsoil. I've run all these other oils. Redline made my vehicle run the smoothest overall. And if you watch Lake Speed's video, the Motor Oil Geek, I think the reason is I use 5W30. And that 5W30 range, viscosity range, you either have an upper limit to that range or a lower limit to that range, and then there's in between. Well, the 5W30 from Redline runs into that upper limit. It's got a thicker viscosity or a property to it as a 5W30 than other oils do. Almost to the point where it's at that upper portion of the range, maybe in layman's terms to possibly fall out of that range into the thicker weight above it. I don't know how all that goes. I love Redline. Redline absolutely failed for the most part in his testing, which I'll take that as an L. I love using it, but for his testing purposes, it didn't work. And actually, at the end of it, when he gave the results, he was like, I guess you guys are kind of looking for a winner. I'm just summing it up in my own words. I guess you guys are looking for a winner here. There is no winner. These applications are used for different things. If you look at the turbo deposits, the two German oils were the best at preventing turbo deposits, not any of the other oils, not the high performance, not the high pressure, not the driven, not the Pennzoil Ultra Platinum. It was Ravenol and Liqui Moly. So those are best at preventing turbo deposits, especially like vehicle's hot, turbo's spooled up, you shut the vehicle off, turbine's still spinning in that oil, it's really hot, everything else is kind of rested while that turbo is still spinning, and there's a lot of heat there. Deposits are formed. Oil is wore out. Now, is it just everything all at one time right now? No. That's not how it works. Remember, guys, hit that thumbs up, please. But then you had like shear testing. There was better oils at resistance to shearing, you know, but the top oils out of that whole thing the entire time were driven. Was it high pressure? Am I saying it right? High pressure lubricants. They were up there a lot. And Amsoil. Amsoil sat right there like number 2, number 3, number 4. Driven was like, I think I seen the most overall. If we were actually going to pick a winner out of this entire category, it looked like the driven, I think it's called LS30 formula or something like that. That formula seemed to be the most outstanding out of all of the oils. And that's one of the oils I actually promote. I promote the company Driven. I promote this company because I really like their stuff. I think they put out a good, high quality product. And it just so happens that with the Motor Oil Geeks testing, he's right, it does. But right there behind Amsoil was Pennzoil Ultra Platinum in many of the categories. It just seems that Motul overall and Redline overall, those two oils really didn't do all that great in any of the testing, to be honest with you. There might have been 1 or 2 categories where they seemed to be superior, but overall those oils didn't do all that great. And the one that surprised me the most, but it's not as surprising as you may think, is the Mobile One truck and SUV formula. What did I tell you when everybody was bashing me last year, talking about all this cold flow testing that I'm doing with oils, and I took the condiment dispenser containers and I snipped the tip of them and I made sure they were all exactly the same length. And I made that wooden box, cut open the ends of them, and then I made markings on the side and I filled up each one of them to the exact same measure, and then I popped the caps on them and I watched the cold flow. What was my comment every single time I ran that testing with Mobile One truck and SUV formula? What do you remember me saying? Ford Fusion shift fault light. Could be the bushing be bad while still on. Could it still be bad if it's all snapped together? No. If it's all snapped together, not really. But you also have to understand that little adjustment piece where the bushing goes into that shifter linkage, it's actually adjustable. Anybody? Can anybody answer? Can anybody answer my question about what was my comments on Mobile One truck and SUV cold flow testing? I'm still waiting for that before I kind of give it away. I only got about 5 minutes and I gotta get out of here. Damn it. I thought I had more time today. Alright, so what I said was, man, this stuff is impressive. This Mobil 1 truck and SUV formula, out of all the Mobil 1 stuff that I've actually tried, this oil seems to be pretty impressive. It seems to actually run alright, even though I get a little clatter and stuff from it after a few thousand miles. The cold flow is phenomenal from this oil. It seems to be different than the rest of the line that I've tested so far. And what happened in his testing? It was always right there with Pennzoil Ultra Platinum. It was always right there next to it, somewhere around it. And it shocked me that Mobil 1 truck and SUV formula, it shocked me, but it didn't shock me. Because it did seem to be a pretty good oil overall. Couple more quick workouts and then I gotta hit the road. So, based on application, some oils actually seem to be better for certain conditions. So if you're trying to protect the turbo and you're wanting to use the best oil for that, it might be one of the German oils. If you're racing and you're running laps or you're just wide open for 10, 15 seconds at a time, whatever, you might pick an oil that's actually made for that actually cools down extremely fast. And there were oils that stood out in those categories. If you have a vehicle that is older, or a vehicle in general that is showing wear metals in the oil samples, you might pick an oil that actually protects a little bit more, that has less parts per million metals that show up after a really aggressive test or something is done. So Lake is right. Different oils have different purposes. Most oils that are on the shelf can be run in most vehicles for normal driving, city driving, things like that. But when it comes to performance, when it comes to towing, when it comes to those things, you got to be very careful, because you're taking a vehicle and you're moving it into a completely different category. And that's why, honestly, I love the fact that Amsoil came out like it did. It showed to be a superior oil. It showed to be an oil that was worth putting your money into. It showed to be an oil that it's not necessarily a waste of money, because you're getting that extra protection from it. Does it fit my pocketbook? No, it doesn't. I change my oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Sometimes I'm mainly around 4, but I don't go more than that. So changing my oil with an expensive oil or a more expensive oil like Amsoil, to me, would not be cost effective. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum offers just enough protection and safety for me to use my vehicle every day that I don't have to worry about it causing more damage or not lubricating or not cooling or not doing this or that properly. I love running Pennzoil Ultra Platinum. And I look forward to further tests that Lake Speed puts out. Hopefully he can add some of the Valvoline products in there and we get some even further answers. I appreciate that, Alex. I'm staying with it, man. I've lost, I don't even really get on the scale anymore. So I only find out when I go to the doctor now. I don't like getting on the scale. I just go by my body transformation and how my clothes and stuff are fitting. How I don't have skin and stuff hanging off of me as much anymore. It's starting to get tighter. My gut and everything's starting to come in slowly. I just go off of that now. I don't even jump on the scale. And I'm just trying to stay as active and check in with you guys as much as possible, so maybe I can motivate you guys to make a change in your life as well. And I feel amazing. Alright. Closing thoughts. Gotta get out of here. And cut the heater off. My time limit on my workouts, the shortest I'd like to go is 20 minutes. But if I'm doing it 20 minutes, that means I gotta get into it. Most of the time I like to go an hour. An hour's pretty good for me. If I can get a solid hour in, that means I've tore some stuff up, you know. I'm good. Let me cut this truck off. I had to start the GMC for a little bit and let it warm up. I haven't started it in a few days. Now, I need to get myself together and get out of here. So, and that other company, High Pressure Lubricants, they did extremely well. Appreciate that. You as well. Thanks for all the love and support, the new followers and stuff lately. The channel is really starting to grow again. I'm excited. I haven't had this happen in a long time. It feels good. And like I said, I just want to say thank you to you guys for encouraging and sharing the videos. And I don't know what happened, but the algorithm turned in my favor. And I finally hit 180,000 followers, which I'm very thankful for. So thank you for that. My interest in the peak of the things that I've been talking about has really started popping up in people's search engines and things like that. So It's always appreciated. Have a good day. I'll probably check in with you guys sometime this morning with a job or something that I'm doing just to chat for a little bit. But I just wanted to encourage you guys to go over to the Motor Oil Geeks channel. Check out his findings with the oils that he tested. Is Amsoil the best? Is like the title or something like that. And it's shocking. Amsoil is one of the best, just like they say. And it's a phenomenal product. So go over there, check it out, check the results out, look at how impressive driven performance is and high pressure lubricants, and then actually get a feel for what he's saying, why there's no clear winner here. Each one of these oils serve a purpose, and they actually, it depends on what you're trying to protect or what you're going for. What best works with your application is where it's key. It's not the oil itself as much as this oil, is this oil formulated to work in my car the best and make it last the best and protect it the best with what application I have and how I use it. That's most important, and that's what we need to start thinking about. And that's going to be my message from here on. Instead of saying this oil is the best, my thing is I love Pennzoil Ultra Platinum. It seems the best overall oil for general use and the most affordability and performance wise. It protects great. I'm always going to choose that oil before something else until something else has proven in the same price range to be the most affordable for people on the street. I'm always going to choose that oil first. But when it comes to overall testing and stuff, it does show that Amsoil is slightly superior to Pennzoil Ultra Platinum, and it does have the edge on it. So I'll admit that. Have no problem admitting that. But I'm still going to choose PUP first, and that's just how it is. But I love his testing. Go check his testing out. If you guys haven't checked his testing out, you need to do so. You need to go watch the video. Don't just take my words for it. Go and watch the video. It's very interesting. I'm signing out. I am, well, Janice, I'm leaving. So good morning and goodbye. In that note, I'm going to go say goodbye to my daughter, and I'm going to work. Take care. Be blessed, guys. Love y'all.